Thank you very much, Saoirse and Christina, for all of your help. And as Christina said, Elizabeth Whelan is my name, and I have a company called Zestivo. Zestivo means zest for life, and that's what I'm trying to instill into everybody. And it's a company that promotes mindful living. Now, people think mindful living, oh gosh, I have to sit for 10 minutes in the lotus position and be mindful. And I would say not at all. We should be living mindfully in every moment, being aware of who we are, how we are in these wonderful bodies, and being aware of everything that's going on around us. So today, my topic, as Saoirse mentioned, is procrastination. So we're all guilty of this. As I say to all of my clients when I'm life coaching, procrastination is our default. It's part of who we are as humans. And, you know, we are human at the end of the day. So remember not to be too hard on yourself. We tend as humans to be beating ourselves up all of the time. But remember, you are human, and that we will all procrastinate at times in our life. And that can lead to lots of other things happening in your life. It can really snowball into something worse. But we're not going to go there today. So first of all, what is procrastination? So it's the act of delaying or putting off tasks until the last minute or past their deadlines. And we're all, I'm sure, guilty of this, particularly in our busy lives, that things we don't really like to do, that we push out, put away, hide away so we can't see it, and we don't address it. It's also a form of self-regulation failure, because it is all about yourself at the end of the day. And it's often characterized by irrational delays of tasks, as I mentioned, despite potentially negative consequences. So your boss could be saying to you now, you don't achieve this goal that I've given you, you're in trouble. You know, your career is on the line here. We have to achieve this goal, but still we procrastinate. And it is part of our default. But hopefully today I'm going to help you move beyond procrastination 98% of the time in your life, in your mindful life. So it leads to wasted time. We know from all that we have experienced in the last 2 years particularly, time goes so quickly, and we as humans can waste time. We miss those golden opportunities. I remember reading a book one time, and it was a journalist who wrote it. And she said how these opportunities land into our laps. And if we don't embrace them and take them in that moment, suddenly the opportunity is gone and your friend appears by doing something with that goal or dream you had in your mind. So always keep your eye out for the new opportunities that might be around you. It does lead to poor performance as well, because you're perceived as a poor performer if you procrastinate, because you're not reaching those targets, those goals, and you're not performing at your peak if you're a procrastinator. So people have a different view of you and think you're a poor performer all of the time. Self-depreciation, everything we do in our life is reflecting in ourselves, how we feel about ourselves, our own self-worth. And certainly when we procrastinate, we get very hard on ourselves. And that can lead to increase in stress. And we all know about stress. Stress robs our body of our good hormones. Stress robs women and men of their sex hormones. Their libido goes lower. Stress robs us of our vitality, our immunity. We know all of it. This isn't a stress module, but we all know the effects of stress. So stress can rob us of life within these bodies and within our minds. So we really want to avoid it as best we can. And when we get into procrastination, you know, we get into this loop that we do feel helpless. We feel guilty that we cannot get the jobs done. We're in bed at night thinking about it. We're stressing about it. Oh my God, I never got to that job. And I know my boss is going to be ringing me in the morning, or I have to present this project in the morning and I haven't done the work. I'm not good enough. I start doubting myself. And then I don't do anything about it because I'm in this loop that I can't seem to escape from. So this is what happens to us when we jump in. Now, also, there are different types of procrastination. So we know poor focus is one thing, and you as an individual might have something of great value to share with this world, particularly now as we shift and the world shifts in energy. They are saying that this new innovation is coming. These new opportunities are coming. And we all have to be focused to find them, to help individuals, to help one another, to help the earth. If you have poor focus, you are never going to be able to change. You can change yourself and then change the world. And believe it, when you are stuck in yourself, you can never change anything. And that's what procrastination is. You're stuck inside this body. When you start to change, the world becomes your oyster. People often find that they just can't approach a project. They just cannot get that focus going. And I'm going to share with you something now in this moment, straight away, that will help you focus. And that is your breath. And for anyone that has attended my masterclasses with the wonderful iconic offices before, they will know that I talk about the breath as being one of your most important life skill tools that you have in this wonderful body of yours. So please, I give you now the opportunity, you have choice at the end of the day, to sit in your chair, unfold your legs and your arms, put your feet flat on the floor, your hands upwards, and join your thumb and first finger together so you anchor in this feeling. And start to become aware of your beautiful body in this moment. Even connecting to our body changes our focus. Now we have technology, we have science, we have this wonderful world of ours. We can communicate in this way because of all the technology and science. But unfortunately, it's taking us away from what we truly are, who we truly are, this powerful body, these souls in these powerful bodies that are capable of everything. And what we're doing is detaching from who we are and forgetting that we are not these powerful beings, that we are self-doubting. We are going in on ourselves and giving out to ourselves all of the time, instead of tapping in here into our body. So bring yourself into your body through your breath, simply breathing, what I call as a yoga teacher, whole body breathing. So expanding your belly first, then expanding your ribs, and then your chest, but not lifting your shoulders. So what you're doing is expanding your body in 360 degrees with your breath, and then hold the breath for a moment. Hold it for a moment, and then release it down through your body. And as I'm speaking, do that 3 times, just connecting yourself to your body and to your wonderful mind. And even in that practice of your 3 reconnection breaths, you can refocus your attention. And then as I'm speaking, because I'm tight for time today, you keep that breathing going and you will see how energized you are. You will see how focused you are in the afternoon. You will see how innovation starts popping in. Motivation starts popping in. You get this excitement. When I get people connecting back to their breath, they get an excitement back in their life, for life, because they're back in their bodies. They're not just in their heads on a computer or on their phones. They're back in here. Now, the other reason you might procrastinate is that you're too busy. As I say to people, are you too busy being busy? Because we're all too busy being busy. So look at your life. Once we have the awareness, we jump into a different place within ourselves and within our lives. It sucks us back into who we truly are when we get too busy. To come back and have the awareness. Now, I'm being too busy. Because being this busy is not being productive. And being busy might be showing your boss, you're busy, but you're never getting the jobs done. You're procrastinating. So stop being too busy being busy. Become aware of that busyness. Is it productive busyness? Is it procrastination in the busyness? And then once we have the awareness is the first step in change. The first step to changing anything in your life is, well, I have the awareness now, this is going on. And what can I do about it? And of course, the third one is we self-sabotage. It's our default as humans. We self-sabotage all of the time. So look at your life triggers and see how you're self-sabotaging yourself. Are you not getting enough sleep? Are you on Netflix, on a series till 3, 4 in the morning, getting sucked in? Oh, I have to go again. Oh my God, I can't go to bed. Is it that you're not eating the right foods? So your energy is so low. Your body is a Ferrari. You are the most, or a Tesla. You are the most intricate, powerful, beautiful being here. And what do? We fill it with rubbish foods. and we expect it to perform properly. We expect it to think properly. We expect our mind to be clear and sharp, not to procrastinate. But how can you do that if you're fueling yourself with rubbish foods that's draining your body? Because your body's finding it's spending all of the time trying to eliminate all this rubbish you're putting in. So look at how you're fueling. Are you hydrating your body? Are you drinking your water? Make sure you're hydrating your body. You can find information about these things all through my websites, where I give you tips on how to energize your body through my blogs, Zestivo.com. Also, how is your sleep? Is your sleep good if you're not looking at Netflix? But how is that sleep pattern? Is it a normal sleep pattern? Are you getting enough sleep? 7 to 9 hours has been proven to be enough for our bodies. If you're an athlete, more actually, because you need to build yourself up for more energy. If you have a sleep deprivation, as 3% of our population have, you need to address that, because that's going to make you procrastinate. Because you will be going around like you've had a pint of beer. You're not thinking clearly. You're not seeing things clearly. You are procrastinating because you don't have the energy to move forward. Movement in your body is another self-sabotaging. If you're sitting here and you're never moving your body, even if you're at a desk all day, get up every half an hour and shake your body. I get everybody shaking their bodies. Shake it out, shake it out. And that gets movement in your body. Because if you've movement in your body, you've movement in your life. If you have stagnation here, you've stagnation in your life. So self-sabotaging in that way can be affecting us also. We can just be self-sabotaging ourselves by hiding things, by not looking at what is the truth of things as well. And we're going to talk more about that now in a second. So there's 6 common reasons for procrastination. And the first reason is a lack of clarity. So you are unclear about your goals, about your visions. You don't know where you're heading in life. You don't really know what your goals are. I set people down and I say, well, what are your goals? I say, well, I don't really have any. But how can you expect to manifest and dream and get all these things into your life if you don't have your goals? The universe doesn't know what you're looking for. You don't have the right vibration to attract all that beauty into your life. You keep putting off these tasks. You never get things done. You're stuck. And there you are, stuck in your life. That is a lack of clarity. So look at your visions, your goals, your dreams. Look at what you want to achieve. Every week, sit down and pat out your goals for the week. I have one of those calendars I buy in the pound shop or in Deals or the Euro shop. And what I do is every Sunday night, I sit down and I write down my goals for the week. And every day when I get home, then I fill out goals that have been achieved or haven't been achieved. And I put them into the following day. And if they are there on the Friday and I haven't done anything about them, I kick my ass and I say, right, you are procrastinating, girl. You've got to sort this out. And I make myself get focused, get clarity. What is stopping me? What is stopping me moving forward here? What is this about? Is it a thought I have? Is it an action? Take one little action can change everything. Can I take one little action to move forward? So get clarity, move the wood for the trees and look and find your clarity, where you're going in what you're doing. The second reason, lack of self-control, controlling yourself here. And this, when you're lacking in self-control, it's compounding that clarity, that you just cannot see that clarity. You'd rather go and do social media and look at all the social feeds than do your work. This is all lack of self-control. We've got to control our own habits and the way we live our life, our personal care habits, our habits in our job, our habits in our life. Our brain loves habits. And if you are procrastinating, your brain is not wired in the right way. We've got to wire and fire the brain with habits. And when the body has habits, that's why I invited you to join your thumb and first finger together when you're meditating or breathing, because that is a habit for the body. It's a good habit. And the body knows straight away, oh, this is breathing time. This is relaxation time. It's the same when we're in work. If we have our habits of organizing our desks, organizing our to-do list, organizing our calendar, that is self-control. So not always to be buried in the head in the sand, that we must have self-control when we are procrastinators. Of course, we can get overwhelmed, and those two can lead to overwhelm. And when we're in overwhelm, again, we cannot see what to do. There's too much to do, too many tasks to do. My head is so busy, but yet I'm doing nothing. I'm really fearful of any negative outcomes. I'm thinking the worst thoughts. I lack organization. I think the worst thoughts about myself. And that's when overwhelm comes in. When I'm eating the wrong foods, when I'm drinking late at night, I'm smoking too many fags, I'm never exercising. That's when overwhelm comes in. Again, it's self-control, self-regulation. And the one little thing can make a difference. I'm not telling you to go out and take on the world. One little change can make a difference. Anxiety, again, leading to stress, leading to burnout. We know when we're anxious, even sometimes we look at our bills, we look at our finances, and we're procrastinating about paying our bills. So we get this anxiety that sets in. We don't like what we see around us. It's unpleasant to think that the work is over there and I'm not doing it. Oh my God. But believe me, the sooner the better you just get in and start making a little effort, things are going to change very little. Again, exhaustion can set in. Here are our sleep habits, our food, water. Dehydration in the body causes exhaustion. So look at your self-regulation, you know, many times it's self-inflicted, that you were exhausted, busy being busy again, never taking time out for yourself. We are great as human beings at not nurturing ourselves. I mean, I have clients that come to me and they deprive themselves of their massage once a month, their facial once a month, their exercise class, you know, their walk down, their 10-minute walk in the evening or in the morning now with the sun shining today. They deprive themselves knowing that that 10-minute walk exuberates me, invigorates me. I don't feel as tired when I do something for me. So ask yourself, what are you doing for you? Well, how are you nurturing yourself? This is part of mindful living. How are you getting in and nurturing yourself? That is not being selfish. It's giving yourself that self-care that you need, because if you are not nurturing yourself, you will get exhausted. So nurture yourself however your unique body needs you to nurture it. Of course, fear of failure is a huge reason for procrastinating. We are afraid that we'll fail at the job, we won't be good enough, that our knowledge and wisdom isn't there. Again, it's stories we tell ourselves. So be aware of your thinking here. Your thoughts will sabotage you. Your thoughts will stop you moving forward and tell you that little gremlin in there. When I'm coaching people, I get them to go in and meet their gremlin, because that little gremlin, I call mine Mrs. Know-it-all. She's a Mrs. Know-it-all, and she'd be saying, oh, you're not good enough. Oh, look at the person over there is better than you. Oh, that person sitting at the desk has a better answer than you have. And we fill ourselves with all these stories, limiting beliefs, limiting stories that we tell ourselves. And that's the reason we have a fear of failure, and we procrastinate around that. So also we have to look at 3 types of procrastinators. So if you're a procrastinator, are you an avoider? So you might be the type that's just avoiding everything. It was Sigmund Freud that said people avoid things that they feel are hard, or they don't like, or they don't bring them joy. But it has been proven that actually that brings you more stress, which has a worse effect on you. So if you're an avoider, you will schedule undesirable tasks way, way down on your calendar. You'll hide those tasks so you don't have to look at them. So instead of having them on your inbox, you might have them in under your inbox or in a file that you can't see on your Gmail, so you don't have to deal with them. So you put items related to the job where you cannot see them. You will also get anxious when others talk to you about them. So if your boss comes along and says, how are you getting on with that project I gave you? You get really anxious and you lie about it. You often procrastinate because you just can't face it. So you're the avoider here. You make excuses about it. So you say, oh, I'm doing it tomorrow, definitely now. Something more urgent came in and I'm definitely going to do that today. And of course, you never get to it because you don't want to get to it. You make lots of to-do lists. You're great with those little post-its, but you never follow through on them if you're the avoider. So what can you do as that avoider? Oh, sorry, I'll tell you what you can do now in a second. You could be the optimist, you know, the person that's forever optimistic. Or you could be the pleasure seeker. You are the one that just loves joy in life and you couldn't be bothered with all that stuff that gives you upset. So here I mentioned the avoider. So what are you going to do if you are the avoider? You are going to act on why you are procrastinating. Really become aware of it and see, why am I procrastinating in this moment? What is it that's making me procrastinate? Really look at it and self-reflect within yourself. Have that awareness. Let me look at this now. What is the reason for this? Why am I procrastinating? Is it, myself? Is it about myself, my self-limiting beliefs? Is it limiting stories that my teacher told me years ago? Some story my teacher told me I was never good enough and I'd never get anywhere in life. Do I still believe that story? Did I fail on one project and now I think I'm going to fail on them all? So really reflect on why you're procrastinating. That is one of the reasons. Break the jobs down into smaller goals. I'll give you a tip for that in a moment. So sometimes when we say, now I just do a little bit of this today, I'll take that post-it and I'll do that post-it. That helps us see the goals much clearer. When we take a smaller goal, it doesn't look like that huge big project that's overwhelming me. Okay, I'm going to take a little chunk of that small goal today and do something with it. And that really helps people. Remember, you have all the knowledge and skills you need. You didn't get the job you got because you're not good enough. That's a story you're telling yourself. You got the job because you have the capabilities. And in here in this body, when you connect in here with who you truly are, you know you have educated yourselves. You know you have that knowledge and skill set for these goals. And if you don't have the skill sets, perhaps it's going to give you those skill sets, put you out of your comfort zone. And I know in my own life, I have been put out of my comfort zone so many times. When I was only 18 and I was working for Lancome, I was working in Mullingar, and I remember my boss ringing me and saying, you have to go to the hotel tonight and do a makeup on stage in front of 300 people. And I nearly had a conniption. But that pushed me big time out of my comfort zone. And I grew from that experience. And I push myself to do things that scare me, because I know when I do it, I know I have the skills in here, the skill set, and I have the wisdom. So why not get out there and put my confidence forward? So it's the same for all of us. Know that you have it inside you. Finding an accountability partner is wonderful for procrastinators, because your accountability partner will hold it up to you and say, okay, Saoirse, what's the story here now? Christine, you're getting lazy. You're now, and they say it to you straight up the mark. They're not going to be faffling about and saying, okay, well, maybe you could try and do that now for me for next week. No, I will be your accountability partner. And I will say to you, you promised me, you said you would do it this week. Why haven't you done it? Let's start it together and let's get moving on this project or this goal. So I find we have accountability partners. There's a couple of us in business together who are self-employed, and we have our accountability partner, and we are answerable to one another. And it's fabulous. We have our weekly meetings, and we find it so motivating for one another. Outlining all of the pros of completing the job. So what will I gain from this? I'll be able to sleep at night. I'll have more energy. I'll have more time. I'll have more time for me. I'll be able to be truthful about my job. I can work on my skill sets. I feel so great that I've achieved this goal that I have, that I've been procrastinating about. So write down your pros about achieving that goal and make yourself achieve something in relation to that goal. So if you're the optimist, well, we know the optimist. You don't do what you're supposed to do until you generally feel like it, or you're pushed into doing it. You'll be pushed into a corner to do it. Nobody generally feels that you'll do the job right, because you might be time driven as an optimist, that you find I won't do anything until the last minute, and therefore you don't have clarity. You don't work on your skill sets. You don't have that innovation that will come flowing when we are thinking about how we're going to put things together. When we sit down and start with the project or a goal and we say, okay, what is my approach here? How will I approach this goal? The optimist will wing it. Oh, I know the answer to that. So I know everything. They really believe they have it all within them. But believe me, they don't always have it in them. They are lastminute.com people, usually. And they're putting pressure on themselves again because they are procrastinating around certain things. And if you are an optimist, you will find, you need to create a smart action plan. You need to sit down and make your action plans on a Sunday night. And don't let yourself off the hook if you haven't achieved it by the end of the week. Schedule that daily agenda and be aware of your pacing. Have I made any progress on this goal today? If not, why not? And make yourself set regular time alerts on your phone. We all have these apps, wonderful apps now. Set those time alerts and put them in place and remind yourself, okay, that's my time now to get onto this project that I've been avoiding. And also ask for scheduled guidance from your colleagues or from your friends or from your accountability partners. Say, look, I'm really procrastinating on this, on our goal here, on our project. Would you give me a schedule, guidance? Give me something that I can be guided by and let me be accountable to you for that guidance. And that helps a lot of individuals in relation to being an optimist. And then the pleasure seeker always, wants pleasure in life. Doesn't want to be getting too upset about anything because everything is wonderful and only wants the nice things in life, they really want, have the very little patience about the jobs being done and all that. They just want a happy, clappy life. They live in the moment mindset. So everything's about now. I'm happy now. That's all I care about. And I'll get to that job whenever I feel like it. And also that's another one that's, the time. You're not performing the best of your ability because you don't have the time. You're another lastminute.com. You don't give yourself that time to really pan out things. And you often, will sound really enthusiastic about something because you're so positive about everything, but yet you will not be achieving that goal. You will be the ultimate procrastinator. So what can you do to help yourself achieve those goals? Reward yourself when you complete a task because you like pleasure. So you'd say, well, now when I finish now, I'm going to have that packet of crisps or that glass of wine or that bit of chocolate for myself because I have done the great task that I've been procrastinating on. Know what most benefits, is what's most beneficial about your progress. So how does this make you feel? You are a pleasure seeker when you progress in your goals and your dreams and your desires. Take your small breaks, throughout the job. People think they feel guilty if they take those small breaks. Take those small breaks to have your little bit of pleasure, your cup of coffee, your chat with your work colleagues, whatever it is. Those little breaks do us good sometimes, as long as we're not going into the negative when we're on those breaks. Mindful living, keep away from the negativity. Don't have that negative news feed on. Don't have that negative radio on. Focus on how you will feel after you complete that job. That pleasure that you're going to have, that celebration that's going to be there when you achieve that job. Find ways to incorporate what you find enjoyable into the job. So I was speaking to Saoirse before we came live on air. And I said to Saoirse, I follow my bliss with my job. I love what I do. And you can feel that in my passion about what I'm speaking about, living mindfully. And if you follow your bliss, try and bring it into your life in some way, whatever gives you that feeling of happiness and joy. Because when you do that, you raise your vibration. And when you raise your vibration, you change your energy. Energy in our body is unseen, so we don't often know it's there. But you raise that energy when you follow your bliss and enjoy it. Bring those enjoyable things, even if it's, gardening, bring a plant into the office, whatever it is, and talk to your plant like those times. So be procrastination now. Ask yourself what is moving you forward. Just sit down and ask yourself, what is stopping me moving forward in my life? Am I procrastinating? Why have I not achieved that goal? Why have I not manifested that new boyfriend, that house, that lovely thing in my life? What is it? What am I doing to stop myself? Because it is all about you. Everything starts here with you. Explore your excuses, making excuses. Oh, the children, I'm not in time, I'm a bad timekeeper. Oh, my boss is a bully. My colleagues bully me. Oh my God, I have all these excuses that are not true. I'm making all these excuses up. Become more conscious of your own habits and self-limiting beliefs. Again, we spoke about this, how our habits stop us or enhance us. Good daily habits bring us forward, move us forward, really rocket fuel us into doing things. Bad habits pull us back. Limiting beliefs, even from when we were 2 years of age. Somebody said something to you in school. We all have these limiting beliefs. When we look back on our timeline, I get clients to look back on their timeline, and we all heard stories and we believe them about ourselves. And they're BS, they're not true. Look at us as individuals, how far we've come, how much we've achieved. So look at your self-limiting beliefs. Create those new habits and new positive strategies in your life that will support you. Putting those strategies in place and letting your colleagues know about them so they can be motivated by your progress. Observe your thinking. I spoke about this, how our thoughts can create our reality. Our thoughts can sabotage us, can make us feel small, can stop us doing things, telling us, oh, you'll never get this done in time. Don't believe it. Push them to the background, push them back in their box, and make a plan and make sure your goals are clear, and make sure that you have an emotional tie to those goals, that you feel excitement about them in your body, that you're excited about that goal. Implement the 10-10 rule. Maybe you know this already. It's the 10-minute rule. And this 10-minute rule is that, okay, I'm avoiding over here, but now I'm going to do 10 minutes of this project every day this week. And you give yourself 10 minutes on your timer. You set your little timer and you do your little timer. And in that timer, universities have proved that most people continue on their project when they begin to implement the 10-minute process. So it's something for you to try. It's a tool for you to try with some project you've been procrastinating on. And you realize maybe, do you know, it's not as bad as I thought. In that 10 minutes, I'm after achieving quite a lot there, and I'm going to keep going. Also, the Eisenhower Matrix, created by, I think it was the 34th president of the United States. He said what is important is seldom urgent, and what is urgent is seldom important to people. That people often misinterpret what is urgent and what is important. And making a clear distinction between the two can help you prioritize and make a better decision. So look at what is urgent. You know, what is in a crisis, in an emergency? The pressure's on, your deadline-driven projects, and the last minute. Look at each of those categories. And you can download the Eisenhower Matrix online and categorize your jobs in these categories, your goals, your dreams, and really start working from this principle. And it has been proven by universities, again, where they're studying students, that by using this module, it actually helps them get out of procrastination. The one thing it does, it gets them prioritizing and moving away from procrastination and working in a better way. So I hope that helps you. So step by step, guys, don't try and achieve too much too quickly if you are a procrastinator. Take that 10-minute little guideline, do it step by step, reward yourself, pat yourself on the back, and know that you're getting there, that you are breaking this habit of procrastination. Remember, you are more than this physical body. You are the energy body, which you don't see. So this is a great thing to work on. Your breath I gave you as a tool. And here's another thing that you can do. Move your body, move your energy. Simple things you can do. I call them turning on your body switches. So we just have a few seconds now. I'm going to share them with you. And this turns on your motivation switches in your body. So the first thing to do, and I invite you to do it now with me, is cross over from one shoulder to the opposite hip. Simply crossing your hand over like this. And what you're doing is you're stimulating your energy body to move in a different direction. So crossing your body over and your energy starts shifting 3 times to the opposite hip. Tapping your cheeks here. A few times, tapping your thymus and thyroid here. This takes seconds, guys, and it awakens your body. Into the 2 dips here, your lymphatic collectors of the body, your waste collectors. You shift toxins from your body here. And do the little chicken, tapping your spleen and your liver at the sides of your ribs. And that is it. A few seconds can change your vibration, can change your energy field, can bring you back into positivity, get you out of procrastination. And it only takes literally a few seconds, because I can guarantee you every day spent procrastinating, it's like you're in this glass bowl, worrying about the things that you're not doing. So I urge you to do it. Take that leap forward, take that step forward, and use some of the tools that I've shared with you today. Because I want you to make the rest of your life the best of your life. We are here for such a short time. And that's my tagline. Make the rest of your life. It's up to you. It all begins with you and this wonderful body. No one can do it for you. You have to do it for yourself. So thank you so much for your attention. I know there might be questions, or the girls might like to share something. So please feel free if you have any questions. I think there's 2 questions might be in the chat there, Saoirse, if I can answer them. There are questions, are they?
Oh, no, that's just from me.
Oh, that's okay. That's perfect. That's perfect. If anyone has any questions, they can always email me, zestivo.com. They can go on my website, elizabethwhelan.ie, or Zestivo. They get me on either one. You can follow me on my Twitter, on my Facebook, on my Instagram. It's my most likable live feed, and I try and inspire everybody on a daily basis to live their best life. So thank you very much to the wonderful Iconic offices. I love you dearly because of what you're offering everybody. And I love these programs. They're really opening people's minds, and it's bringing everybody to a different place. And thank you, Saoirse and Christina, for all of your help during my process with these masterclasses as well.